This is the cosplay of the very popular light novel character, Shana-chan. Shut up, shut up, shut up. I've always wanted to say that. As I've made it obvious, romance anime is my favorite genre of all time, whilst action has been something I somewhat left on the afterburner. Now, this is a question for you: what would happen if you cross the romance genre and the action genre? Well, the creation of this phenomenon is Shakugan no Shana, a mysterious action anime with a huge focus on the romance between its characters. Some of you may have seen this anime mentioned before in my Cross of Venus Let's Play, as it's a prominent series in the story of the game. In today's video, I will be dissecting the Shakugan no Shana series and give my honest review on it. Shakugan no Shana began as a light novel by the same title in 2002, written by Yashichiro Takahashi and illustrated by Noisy E2. This novel would receive 22 volumes and finally come to an end in 2011. This series ended up being a hit, selling over 8.6 million copies. To capitalize on the success of the series, the novel would receive a manga adaptation in 2005 and 5 spin-off manga. The main manga would eventually come to an end in 2005 along with its respective light novel. The manga would be serialized by Dengeki Daioh, meaning that it got linked to many other series, such as Toru, Toradora, Era Manga Sensei, Golden Time, Mitsuboshi Colors, Kino's Journey, Love, Elections, and Chocolate, and the one which promoted it the most, Nogizaka Haruka no Himitsu. Being part of the Dengeki series, Shakugan no Shana also was added to their various games, including a lead role in Dengeki Gakuen, Cross of Venus. However, it didn't just stop there. In 2005 the Shakugan no Shana series also received an anime adaptation by the same name. This season would receive 24 episodes and a movie which was essentially a retelling of the anime. The anime seemed to do well enough to receive 2 sequels and a series of OVAs over the years, eventually coming to a close with Shakugan no Shana Final in 2012. In the end, the anime had 76 episodes which received mediocre reviews. In more recent media, Shana is still a prominent character in the new Dengeki games, meaning this series isn't forgotten just yet. The Shakugan no Shana series has a large cast of characters who have mostly all received some form of development throughout its 76-episode runtime, so for the sake of this video, I'm going to focus on the main cast. The hero of the story is Yuji Sake, a young boy who is just starting high school, but has a dark secret. The other prominent student is Kazumi Yoshida, Yuichi's classmate who secretly has a crush on him. And as you can tell by the title, the other lead character is one you probably knew from the title, Shana. Shana has pyrokinesis powers and wields the Nyoto no Shana. Shana's partner in crime is Alastor, a fire god who is basically Shana's mentor and father. This cast would be further expanded throughout the series, which would eventually build up to armies of well-established characters on both sides for a huge war. The art of Shakugan no Shana was about your average anime style for the early 2000s. Large, stretched eyes and less detail than some more modern anime. However, that isn't to say that it's not good. I actually really like the style from this era, not to mention how vibrant Shana's hair gets when it turns red, along with the amazing particles coming off her hair. One of the best parts of action anime from this era is that CGI animation wasn't as advanced at the time, so studios couldn't get lazy and go 3D for their action scenes, and Shakugan no Shana was no exception. In said action scenes, you can tell the artists put a lot of work into animating Shana's fire along with the magic of other characters to create some truly magical fight sequences, including one amazing final battle. As for the music of the series, I honestly have no complaints. If you don't believe me, then watch the countless content creators who have just done videos reacting to the Shakugan no Shana openings for the first time. It's gotten to the point where the community has said that it's impossible for Shakugan no Shana to make a bad song. The most popular of which is Hishoku no Sora, a song so popular that it made it into other anime, for example, appearing twice in the Nogizaka Haruka no Himitsu series. As for the ending songs, Shakugan no Shana has just as many as the opening songs, so there's plenty to listen to. All in all, Shakugan no Shana has some fairly amazing music. The story of Shakugan no Shana is somewhat interesting and mysterious. Essentially, there are demons lurking in the shadows of the real world, consuming the souls of humans effortlessly. To prevent panic from a declining population, dead humans would be replaced by torches, a fake human who would slowly fade away as their fire goes out to make their disappearance less sudden. The only way to save humanity from the demons is a being called a flame haze, which is a magic user with a companion whose soul is trapped inside an inanimate object. One of said flame hazes is the lead of the series, Shana. Shana and her partner in crime, Alastair, have the mission of preventing the Daisen, a guild of evil flame hazes, from completing their plans. Whatever could it be? I really enjoyed this story and I really got invested in its characters, especially when Season 2 came around with a focus more on developing its cast than on the number of battles. Alright, so it's time to get to the spoiler segment of this video. If you wish to avoid any spoilers, please go to the timestamp on screen or refer to the time cards in the description. One of my favorite moments from this series aside from the romance portion of it was its final season. This season was essentially a never-ending battle of a war between all of the flame hazes and all the Daisens. Each battle would continue into the next until the finale, which had a somewhat confusing ending. Having Shana allow the creation of the New World confused fans, making them question what was the flame hazes' plan in the first place and who really won. Despite the confusing ending, it still struck the heartstrings and was still a somewhat satisfying conclusion to the series. For an anime of its age, Shakugan no Shana still holds up to the test of time. Although it may not be the best in the action or romance genre, it has its own place and it belongs there. Although not really standing out in the animation game as it fit in with the average style for its time, it did stand out in the music game, having its own fanbase in that respect. Although the anime was completed years ago, I don't see it going anywhere soon with Shana's continued use in Dengeki games. Considering this and its premise interesting enough to keep a viewer watching for 76 episodes, there is one score I believe perfectly represents this series. Shakugan no Shana deserves a 8.5 out of 10. Despite its age, Shakugan no Shana can still be a fun watch, especially for those who are fans of the romance or action genres. There is some stuff in the anime which prevents it from getting the 9 or 10, but it was an enjoyable series in the end. What do you think about the Shakugan no Shana series? If you haven't seen it already, did I convince you to watch it? Let me know in the comments down below. If you liked the review or thought it was insightful, please consider liking the video or subscribing since it really helps me out a lot. You guys know you mean the world to me and I love and appreciate all of you. And as always, until next time, bye.